Welcome to another episode of Current Affairs MCQ. Let's begin with the previous day's question. Consider the following statements. 1. India lacks a uniform central law on begging, with the Bombay Prevention of Begging Act 1959 serving as the main legislation that criminalizes begging. 2. The SMILE scheme includes two sub-schemes, namely rehabilitation of persons engaged in begging and empowerment of transgender persons. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. Both 1 and 2, D. Neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option C. Begging involves soliciting alms through various acts such as singing, selling items, or displaying deformities. India lacks a uniform central law on begging, and Bombay Prevention of Begging Act 1959 acts as a main law and criminalizes begging and defines beggars broadly. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Launched in 2022, the SMILE scheme includes two sub-schemes: rehabilitation of persons engaged in begging and empowerment of transgender persons. The beggary sub-scheme focuses on identifying, profiling, and rehabilitating individuals engaged in begging with their consent in urban areas like religious, historical, and tourist cities. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Now let us look at the first question. With reference to the Performance Grading Index 2.0, consider the following statements. 1. It assesses school education across all states and UTs, aligning with the National Education Policy 2020 and the SDGs. 2. PGI 2.0 scores are classified into 10 performance levels, with Daksh being the lowest grade and Akanshi the highest. 3. The data for assessment is sourced from National Achievement Survey 2021, Unified District Information System for Education Plus, and the PM Poshan scheme. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? A. Only 1, B. Only 2, C. All 3, D. None. The correct answer is option B. The Performance Grading Index 2.0 is an evidence-based framework developed by the Ministry of Education to assess school education system across all states and UTs through a structured and data-driven approach. PGI was originally launched in 2017 and was revamped as PGI 2.0 in 2021 to align with National Education Policy 2020 and Sustainable Development Goals. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Indicators and grading mechanism. PGI 2.0 assesses school education through 73 indicators across two categories: outcomes and governance and management, which are further divided into 6 domains. PGI 2.0 scores are graded on a scale of 1000 points, classified into 10 performance levels, ranging from Daksh, the highest, to Akanshi, the lowest. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Data sources. It is based on data from the National Achievement Survey 2021, Unified District Information System for Education Plus, and information on the midday meal program PM Poshan. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 2. Consider the following statements with reference to Mount Denali. 1. It is the highest peak in North America. 2. It was formed by the collision of the Rangelia composite terrain with the North American plate. 3. It holds cultural significance for the Koryak tribe. How many of the above statements is or are correct? A. Only 1, B. Only 2, C. All 3, D. None. The correct answer is option B. Mount Denali or Mount McKinley, standing at 6,190 meters, is the highest peak in North America, located in the Alaska range. Hence, statement 1 is correct. It is the third highest of the 7 summits, representing the tallest peaks on each continent. Denali is a massive granite block formed by the collision of the Rangelia composite terrain with the North American plain, with uplift due to tectonic activity starting around 60 million years ago. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The mountain has two major summits, with the southern peak being higher. The upper half is covered by permanent snow fields, feeding several glaciers including Kahiltna, Muldrow, Peters, Ruth, and Treleka. Originally known as Mount McKinley, it was named Denali in 2015 to honor the Koyokun people. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. In 2025, the US President restored the name Mount McKinley. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 3. Regarding the Sahitya Academy Awards, consider the following statements. 1. They were established in 1954 and are presented annually. 2. They are given for outstanding books of literary merit in the 22 languages listed in the 8th schedule of the Constitution only. 3. The Sahitya Academy Awards are the highest literary honor given by the Government of India. Which of the statements given above is or are not correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. 1 and 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is option B. The Sahitya Academy Awards were established in 1954 and are presented annually. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Although set up by the Government of India, the Academy operates as an autonomous organization and was registered as a society in 1956 under the Societies Registration Act of 1860. They are annual literary honors conferred by the Sahitya Academy for outstanding books of literary merit in any of the 22 languages listed in the 8th schedule of the Constitution, as well as in English and Rajasthani. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. It is the second highest literary honor by the Government of India after the Gyanpith Award. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 4. Consider the following features. 1. It has the status of a national park but is developed and managed as a modern zoological park. 2. It serves as a rescue center for lions, tigers and sloth bears. 3. It is a conservation breeding center for the hard-ground Barasingha and gyps vultures. Which of the following protected areas is best described from above features? A. One Vihar National Park. 2. Gir National Park. 3. Sundarbans National Park. D. Kaziranga National Park. The correct answer is option A. One Vihar has the status of a national park but is developed and managed as a modern zoological park following the guidelines of the Central Zoo Authority. Animals are kept in near natural habitats. Most animals are either orphaned or brought from various parts of the state or are exchanged from other zoos. No animal is deliberately captured from the forest. Located in Bhopal, lies next to the upper lake, a Ramsar site and part of the Bhoj wetland. It serves as a rescue center for lions, tigers, sloth bears and other animals saved from circuses and conflict zones. The park is also a conservation breeding center for the hard-ground Barasingha and gyps vultures. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Question 5. Consider the following diseases. 1. Trachoma. 2. Yaws. 3. River blindness. How many of the above diseases are considered as neglected tropical diseases? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. The correct answer is option C. All 3 diseases mentioned, trachoma, yaws and river blindness, are considered neglected tropical diseases by the World Health Organization. NTDs are a group of infectious diseases that primarily affect populations living in tropical and subtropical regions with limited access to healthcare. Trachoma is a leading cause of blindness. Yaws is a chronic bacterial infection that causes disfiguring skin lesions, and river blindness is caused by parasitic worms transmitted by black flies, leading to blindness. Despite their significant impact on public health, these diseases have been historically neglected in terms of funding and research, which is why they are classified as NTDs. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Question 6. Consider the following statements. 1. The Kananaskis Wildfire Charter promotes science-based and nature-based solutions to address the growing threat of wildfires. 2. Transnational repression refers to actions by states to intimidate or harm individuals beyond their national borders. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. neither one nor two. The correct answer is option C. Key outcomes of the 51st G7 summit. The Kananaskis Wildfire Charter. It commits to addressing wildfire threats through science-based and nature-based solutions, aligning with the goal to halt and reverse deforestation and land degradation by 2030 under the Glasgow Leaders Declaration. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The G7 condemned transnational repression, which refers to aggressive foreign interference where states or their proxies seek to intimidate, harass, harm, or coerce individuals or communities beyond their own borders. Hence, statement 2 is correct. G7 committed to preventing migrant smuggling through G7 Coalition to prevent and counter the smuggling of migrants and the 2024 G7 Action Plan targeting this issue. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Question 7. Consider the following statements with reference to the Forest Rights Act 2006. 1. It allows the collection, use and disposal of forest produce by the forest-dwelling communities. 2. It allows diversion of forest land for public welfare projects with state government approval. Which of the above statements is or are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option A. The Forest Rights Act 2006 aims to address historical injustices faced by the forest-dwelling scheduled tribes and other traditional forest dwellers who have lacked legal ownership of forest lands and resources. It grants ownership over minor forest produce, which includes non-timber forest products such as bamboo, brushwood, stumps, and canes. The Act allows the collection, use, and disposal of forest produce by the forest-dwelling communities. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The Act allows diversion of forest land for public welfare projects like infrastructure, schools, etc., with Gram Sabha approval, ensuring that local communities are consulted before any land use changes. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Question 8. Consider the following statements regarding yoga. 1. UNESCO inscribed yoga as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity in the year 2016. 2. The World Health Organization has included yoga in its Global Action Plan as a recognized intervention for combating non-communicable diseases. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option C. International Yoga Day celebrated to raise awareness about yoga's benefits for health, well-being and peace. Its objectives are to promote physical, mental and spiritual health, spread awareness of yoga as a gift of ancient Indian tradition, and encourage global harmony and peace through its practice. UNESCO inscribed yoga as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity in 2016. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The World Health Organization recognizes yoga as a tool for mental and physical well-being, combating non-communicable diseases, and is included in the Global Action Plan 2018-30. Hence, option 2 is correct. In 2015, India's Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports classified yoga as a priority sports discipline. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Question 9. Consider the following statements regarding pulse production in India. 1. As of 2025, India is the largest producer, consumer, and importer of pulses in the world. 2. Pulses contribute nearly 20% to India's total food grain production. 3. Rabi pulses account for more than half of the country's total pulse output. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. 1 and 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is option C. As of 2025, India is the largest producer, consumer and importer of pulses in the world. India accounts for about 25% of global pulse production, 27% of global consumption and 14% of global imports. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Pulses occupy approximately 23% of the total area under food grains, but contribute only about 7 to 10% to India's overall food grain production. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Rabi pulses contribute over 60% of total pulse production in India. Key Rabi pulses include gram, lentil, which dominate the production share. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Question 10. Consider the following statements regarding the Western Ghats. 1. The Western Ghats are more continuous and have a greater elevation compared to the Eastern Ghats. 2. Most peninsular rivers originate in the Western Ghats. 3. The Eastern and Western Ghats converge at the Nilgiri Hills in Tamil Nadu. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 1 and 3 only. C. 2 and 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is option D. The Western Ghats are higher in elevation and more continuous compared to the Eastern Ghats. Their average height is around 1500 meters, with elevation increasing from north to south. The highest peak of the peninsular plateau, Anamudi, lies in the Anaimalai Hills, followed by Doda Beta in the Nilgiri Hills. Hence, statement 1 is correct. In contrast, the Eastern Ghats are discontinuous, lower in elevation, and have been deeply eroded by rivers like Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. Prominent hill ranges of the Eastern Ghats include the Javadi Hills, Palkonda Range, Nallamala Hills, and Mahendragiri Hills. Most peninsular rivers originate in the Western Ghats. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The Eastern and Western Ghats converge at the Nilgiri Hills in Tamil Nadu. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Now, let us look at a practice question. Consider the following statements regarding Global Gender Gap Report 2025. 1. Women's educational attainment in India is close to 97%. 2. Women currently constitute 30% of the total membership in India's parliament. 3. India ranks 131st out of the 148 countries in the Global Gender Gap Index 2025. It remains among the lowest ranked in South Asia. Which of the above statements is or are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Please provide your answers in the comments section.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.